Welcome to this week's Ask GMBN. We'll try and answer your questions that you've sent in and put below last week's Ask. That's where we find them.
Yeah, okay, and I'm going to start off with the questions this week, see if I can test you out.
All right.
First one is from Tom Irby, who says, what is better, coil or air shock for enduro?
I would probably say air because you see most enduro riders using air.
Yes.
Coil can be very good. Small bump sensitivity is better on coils, but they're heavier. And you just don't see them on trail bikes as much. I think some of the specialised teams do use them occasionally, but I think all round for enduro, an air shock.
Yeah, yes.
I would say.
It's a good question though, isn't it? Makes you think about the different setups. Some of them pros are using coils, aren't they?
Yeah, occasionally you see them.
Yeah. Aidan Irwin says, I'm using a SRAM X4 shifter and derailleur. For some reason I can only shift between first and fifth gear. Fifth gear locks, what can I do to fix this, or do I need a new shifter?
So after that it locks. I would say probably shifter. You can't replace bits in shifters, they're so complicated. So unless for any other reason like the cable is getting stuck when you're coming back down the block, but I wouldn't think so. If the shifter, if you actually pull on the cable yourself and try and shift down, if it's not doing anything, then you're gonna have to replace the shifter, I think.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Jake Lutz says, hey guys, I want to learn how to bar spin. However, I've always ridden wide bars, 780 or 800s, so big downhill size bars.
Yeah.
He knows most dirt jumpers run short bars. I know cable routing is something to consider, but I can't bring myself to cut down bars. Can you spin wide bars?
You can. You can do it. Yeah, there are dirt jumpers. The bars on BMXs years ago were very narrow.
Yeah.
A dirt jump bar now is actually not that narrow. It would probably be a bit narrower than you're running, but not a lot more. Not a lot more. So you definitely can do it.
As long as it passes your saddle.
Yeah, as long as you've got to get right back up past that saddle point, but as long as it will go past there, then you can do it. It is easier with a slightly narrower bar, but you probably don't have to go down as much as you think.
Right, Dylan M is thinking about going tubeless, but he's got Schrader valves, so I presume his rims have got the bigger holes.
Yes.
So there's not many options for valves for me. Would I be able to use a car tubeless valve?
I think you can, can't you?
I don't know about car tubeless valves. I don't know how they sit in the rim, but you can get Schrader tubeless valves. You don't see them around very often.
That's probably what I've seen.
Stands do them. I would Google it. You can get them.
Oh, there you go. So you've got the option of going tubeless.
And when you go tubeless, you don't want to make these top 5 mistakes.
Setting your tyres up tubeless on a mountain bike has a lot of benefits when you're riding on the trail, but it doesn't always go to plan when you get them set up in the first place. So with that in mind, we're going to take you through some of the things that go wrong when you set your tubeless tyres up. Here we go.
Okay, next question is from Loris Focard, who says, I have a RockShox Reverb, the old one with the external routing.
Yep.
I always lift my bike by the frame, not by the saddle, but when I sit on the bike, it goes down 1.5 centimetres. What should I do?
Common problem. I used to have one of those, did the same thing. I think it just comes down to getting the cartridge serviced. I definitely have one that did the same. I don't think there's any way of fixing it other than getting someone to go inside it. I don't think you can do it yourself.
Yeah, servicing's the way.
Send it off.
Absolutely.
This is a great question from SGA. Is there a mountain bike equivalent to Alex Honnold free soloing El Capitan? So talking about climbing that massive wall in Yosemite with no ropes by yourself, a crazy thing.
That is insane.
Is there a mountain bike version of that?
Well, I mean, there are riders who do the very first pioneering runs on big mountain trails, you know, where they just like the Rampage guys, I guess. There's people who pull tricks for the first time.
There's things like Tour Divide where you're riding 1,200 miles completely self-supported, but I don't think you can compare them to free soloing El Capitan.
To be honest, I don't think there's many things that compare to free climbing that mountain. That is ridiculous thing
in the world, you know.
Not really.
It does, no.
Not really. That is impressive.
An interesting question.
Very cool. Yeah, it's good to compare the sports like that. I like that. Andre Roux says, hello there fellas, I've got a Common Cell Meta AM, can I use Shimano brake calipers with SRAM rotors that it came with, or am I committing to an unholy sin doing that?
Not really. I think, as long as it's the same size rotor that the brake is made for, so you can buy different mounts, things like that. So if it's a 160 rotor, it doesn't matter as far as in my knowledge is concerned. It could be any rotor. But
I wouldn't.
You would get a little. I'm not sure I'd like to do it.
I think it's the sort of thing Doddy would notice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if that means it's good or bad. Depends on your point of view.
Right, Callum Irvine is going sort of hipster on us. He says, what is your guys' opinion on the upcoming Supreme Santa Cruz collaboration Chameleon? I didn't know anything.
Really?
Didn't know about this.
Oh.
Supreme, that
How trendy.
sort of it's a skate brand, isn't it? They have that red logo. They've done stuff with Fox, and they did a race kit, and I think the goggles were selling for like £500 instantly. It's one of those things that go for loads of money.
Wow.
I don't get it. I don't know if that means I'm too old.
How much would the Santa Cruz go for?
Wow, yeah.
I don't mind it. I don't.
My opinion, I'm not bothered. Not for me.
I don't know about people just painting just because it's got a label on it.
Yeah.
But you know, if it's your thing, Supreme's pretty cool.
It is. It's pretty like interesting to see him get involved with mountain bike brands.
Yeah, no, it isn't. I'd be interested to see it. That's
Especially
what
for a core skate brand to be involved in mountain biking.
Yeah, different. Lancelot YouTube says, what is the most insane trail here in the UK where we are based?
Insane trail. I don't know. What you say, Fort William?
Fort William is insane. I've ridden down it.
Yeah.
You know, it's no biggie. I think I won the race actually.
You did, didn't you?
Won the World Cup, yeah. It was pretty extreme, I've got to be honest. There was some bits I didn't do. Shh, don't tell him.
I've ridden some pretty crazy private tracks that the Astons used to have up in North Wales, secret ones that were gnarly. Just sort of off camber, wet, horrible rock drops into a flat bit and then another off camber rock drop.
Like hardline.
Well, hardline, I guess, but you can't just rock up and ride hardline.
No, you can't. I mean, I guess that's the thing with most trails around the world. The really gnarly ones are the ones nobody knows about because they're secret.
Yeah.
That's probably what's true. But I'd say Fort William is my vote. Sam Bryson says, just bought a new downhill bike. I was wondering, how do I make a coil fork harder?
Yeah.
Because before I had an air shock and don't understand how to use coil ones.
So coil, you should have a preload dial on top, so plus or minus, but it doesn't do that much, to be honest. If they're too soft, really too soft, you'll probably have to find the EU to buy a spring, so the next up-rated spring that will go in your fork to replace the other one.
Nice, like it, and that'll make your bike cool. And talking about cool bikes, let's take a look at Nico Vink's Scott Gambler.
Welcome back, you beautiful people, and today I'm up here in the French Alps in the Chatel Mountain Bike Park. What brings me here is this bike, Nico Vink's Scott Gambler. It's this 2018 rig, and it's got a little bit of a twist, which we will dive into.
Quick fire round. Neil, are you ready?
I'm sort of.
Because I'm going to go quick.
Go on then.
That's what this round is called.
Go on then.
Here we go. Mr. Eat says, orange or bananas?
Oranges.
Dilemma says, I have internal cable routing coming out near my head tube. Would it be okay to run a stealth dropper post through it?
Yes, that's what it's there for.
Easy.
Presumably.
Sid NT says, what are the effects of riding a soft compound tyre on road other than bad knees?
It's going to be slow rolling, so it'll feel like hard work, and you'll wear out your tyres pretty quick.
Yes, it'll be horrible. That's what it'll be.
Not much fun.
Julia Walco says, which brakes are better, hydraulic brakes or mechanical brakes? Quick answer, please.
Hydraulic. They're just more reliable, they work better.
Stop talking, that is the end of the quick fire round. Well done, Neil, you passed.
Thank you.
Very good.
Right, so now we've got a couple of videos to look at this week for Correct Me If I'm Wrong. Okay. So you've sent in your videos, we'll try and give you some advice. The first one comes from Tom, who's riding his Trek/9 in Chicksands here in the UK.
I love Correct Me If I'm Wrong. It's one of my favourites.
It's on the big jump on the 4-cross track, new to jumping, can't seem to clear it.
Right, here we go. Come on, Tom, what you got? Rep.
Ooh. Oh, so he's on the track, on the Chicksands 4-cross track on the bike
See that
park.
again. See that again, dude.
Struggling to clear it. It's quite a big jump.
Rep. He's definitely got enough takeoff there to do it.
Brave, you've got the speed. I reckon you've just got to work on getting that pump into the upslope. Are you on a track/full suspension bike? So you're gonna want to really push the bike in to let it spring back up.
Do you know what a fun way to do it? Get that little bit extra out of your jump is as you come out, really put that bike steep. Get up over the front and see if you can pull it over that landing. You might just make it over the brow and get into the downslope.
I think you're looking good, to be fair. So keep progressing. My next video comes from Jacob. So this is Mount Joyce, Australia, coming off a drop-off. Check it out, it looks like a fun track, this. On his giant Glory.
It's pretty good.
That's
Pretty
what I was
good.
going to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. I reckon that looks pretty flipping good.
Yeah, it's hard to fault that. Here he comes.
Decent sized drop off. Get into the back of the bike. Keep the front wheel up. Landing 2 wheels at the same time.
It's pretty good.
Like it.
It's hard to fault that, Neil.
I think that looks good to me. So nice one, Jacob.
Yeah, good riding. Thank you for all your questions this week.
Yeah.
Always enjoy an ask. It's good fun.
Get
Favourite question this week, Neil?
Favourite question?
I really like that one about the comparison.
Oranges or bananas?
Orange or bananas. No, the comparison about El Capitan. That was really interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. Man. Hit that subscribe button.
Yes, hit the subscribe button. If you want to see more from GMBN, then why don't you hit just here to see our road bike nightmare video, Oscar's on the way.
It's a nightmare, I'll tell you that. If you want to see some freaky hacks and bodges, click over here for that one. Thumbs up and leave your questions down below.
See you next time.